We are on day 4 of the Right Audience More Sales Challenge. Welcome to day 4. There were some really fun events and groups and activities that you really identified as great places for meeting your audience, going where you could just be surrounded by them. And I just can't wait to hear how it goes, because I'm hoping that your next step is not just to go, okay, that was cool, that was a great place, like go to it, right? Go to it and then tell me, how did it go? So, all right, day 4. Sometimes clients come to me feeling frustrated because they are doing all of the things. They're doing all of the things we've talked about. They've narrowed their market. They have identified the urgent, like immediate, tangible problems in the lives of their audience. They've identified the bigger results. They've even found out where to go to meet them. But it seems like it's still not translating into clients and into revenue. More clients, more revenue, maybe some, but not where they want it to be. And they feel really exhausted because they're like, Rita, I'm doing well, but I feel like I always have to hustle and grind to get the next sale. So I'm getting clients, I'm getting customers, but like, it's not easy. There's no just pipeline of people waiting to work with me. I'm always, it's like the sale comes, I have to go out and grind for the next sale. I have to go out and grind for the next client. I have to go out and grind for the next customer, right? So when I dig into it all, what I see is that they're doing what so many entrepreneurs do, and that's what I call market to the sale. So really that means they're treating their entire audience like every single person in it is ready to buy, right? So all their marketing, everything that's going out is basically for people who are ready to buy. So they're treating their audience like every single person in it is ready to buy. Just because the members of your audience are similar, so all singles or all single women or all single women in their 40s or all married couples nearing retirement, right? Whatever your narrow market is, all women executives with teenagers who travel, just because they're all the same or similar, right, does not mean that they are at the same stage of the buyer cycle. So they might all have ultimately the same results. They might go through the same challenges. It doesn't mean that they're at the same stage in the buyer cycle. So, or in their journey, right? So some people call it customer journey, but let's use the audience from my date coaching days, right, as an example. And my audience then were divorced women in their 40s who were dating for the first time. Okay, so divorced women in their 40s who are dating for the first time again since they had gotten divorced. Now, some of them were just starting to think about dating. They hadn't actually gone on a date yet. They were just thinking about it. They hadn't even tried an online dating profile. It was like they're at the stage of maybe I should do this, right? Maybe I should do that. So they hadn't done anything, much less go on a date, right? But others have been at it for a few months and they realize I hate online dating. It's overwhelming. I can't find the right people. The wrong people are messaging me. I don't even know what sites to be on. There are too many. It's overwhelming. I don't understand the technology of it all. I must not be using it correctly, or it's just not working. And they've also been on dates, and the dates just haven't panned out. Either they're not getting second dates, either they think that they're dates with the wrong people, or, right, they're just seeing this trend of like, okay, like I'm not getting second dates. These are kind of the wrong people, or like they're starting to notice, oh gosh, I'm like being attracted to my ex over and over and over again, right? They're just not having fun. They're not having fun. Now, one of those two women are more likely to hire a dating coach. Do you know which one? Not that the other woman won't or can't, right? But who is most likely to hire a dating coach? The woman who's been out there, right? The woman who has been out there on her own doing it and isn't having any luck, right? She wants to meet someone, but she's not sure what to do to get the second date at this point, or why she's not getting it. She's not sure if her profile is her fault or if it's the wrong site. She's not sure if she's even using them the right way to be found or to find people. But the other woman hasn't even tried yet, right? The other woman hasn't even tried. So she hasn't encountered situations yet that would show her that she wasn't getting the results that she had hoped for. So she hasn't gone through those experiences that create frustration or make her wonder if she's doing it correctly. Now, there could be some of those women who are needing to start getting over their fear of dating, okay? So maybe they need to get over their fear of dating. So they might hire somebody to help them with that, right? But that wasn't what I did as a dating coach, really. I helped people who were already dating, right? Who were out there dating and they just weren't having fun with it. If I say all of this because if I was only marketing to the woman who had the urgency to hire me, that divorced woman in her 40s who had been dating for a while and wasn't having any luck, if I only marketed to her, okay, then I would lose out on that other group of women who were just starting to think about it, like starting to work through their fears so they could do it, who would eventually in their journey reach a place where they would most likely want to hire me. Right? So it was important that I also put out content that spoke to them and spoke to them where they were at, right? Which was trying to think about doing it, just starting to contemplate it, having fear around it, right? That content for her is not the same as the content that I put out to the women who are already dating and who are really frustrated by it, right? And want to throw in the towel. Two different types of content, because to get specific and to resonate with them, they have to see themselves in that content. If I tried to write content that applied to both the one who was just starting to think about it and feeling fear and the one who was doing it and feeling frustration, it would be super generic and it wouldn't resonate, right, with any one person. And so I needed to put out content for both of those markets. Now, here is an important statistic to pay attention to. By the time the problem has turned into an urgent need, an urgent crisis, 80% of the buying decision has been made. People, 80% already know who they're going to hire, right? 80%. So in that example above, right, if they're at that place of, oh my gosh, I think I'm going to stop dating. I'm going to end up alone forever. I've tried it all. This is my last ditch effort, right? I have to get a dating coach, right? When they're there, they have already 80% decided the dating coach that they're going to hire. So if the first time that they become aware of me is right then, right, chances are I'm not going to be the one that they hire because, right, they don't know me that well. There's not a likability. There's not a lot of trust. Now, are there exceptions? Sure, right? In that moment, they could be sitting in a room where I speak, and so the trust is built really quickly, right? And they're like, I want you. You're the one I want to hire. So there are exceptions, but it's an exception. It's not the rule. Now, the reason that the women who did reach that place of urgency hired me was because they got to know me well before they were ever at that state of urgency, well before they ever started dating, when they were just thinking about getting back out there, before their online dating profile was written, right? Before their first meetup group was joined. In fact, some of the content I wrote were some great meetup groups for singles, right? Like that's an example of content I wrote to reach that group, or 10 of the top meetup groups in your area for singles, right? Because that's what they're Googling to think, should I get out there? Should I start hanging out with people again? I don't know. What are some good meetup groups in the area? Where do I go to meet other singles, right? That's what they're looking for. And so in those things, the blog posts, the articles, the content that I was putting out to them, right, for them to consume, that content was about them and where they were, which was not where people who would hire me would necessarily be, right? So I wasn't asking for a sale in that content, but I was asking for engagement. I wasn't directing them to a sales call, right? I was asking them to share their answers, to write back and let me know, to tell me what they thought. Like I was asking for engagement and relationships. I was creating opportunities for interaction. And I was bringing them into my ecosystem that way. I was bringing them into my community so that I could nurture those relationships as they grew into dating, right? As they progressed into dating, so that when they reach the point where they're like, this isn't working, I don't know what I'm doing, right? Then they already knew me. They already liked me. They already trusted me. They had been consuming content for where they were at, solving problems for where they were at, right? Like building and progressing content that progressed with them, right? Because I had content from here to here and the places between. It progressed with them as they progressed through dating. So the knowledge of me, the likability, the trust, seeing that I'm credible, seeing that I'm an authority, that was all building. So by the time they reached the urgency, their 80% of their decision had been made up already to hire me because I was the one they were following. Now they might've gone out and interviewed a few other people, but like 80% of their decision was already made up, like in their mind, right? Because I had been nurturing that relationship, because I put out content for where they were at, okay? Now, while we don't go into it in this challenge, but this becomes important in the way that people find you, right? Because the way that people find you actually depends on what point in the journey they're in. the majority of it, right? So incorporating that into your marketing strategy is really crucial. If you're unsure of how to do that, then schedule a clarity call with me. I'll put a link below, and we can help you get clear on what your next steps would be, so that we can find the right resources that can help you with this. The lesson to take away from today is you want to cultivate a relationship with prospective clients well before they know that they need you. Well before they know that they need you, so that when they need you, it's you they go for, because you have kind of taken them down that path through their journey, right? Or because of the relationship that they've established with you when they don't know that they need you, they now see through everything that, oh my gosh, I do need you before I get urgent, right? So I want to work with you. So today you're going to kind of create that flow, like a little outline to grow and engage your audience while creating a pipeline so that you sell with ease. And so to do it, you have a quick action, again, under 5 minutes, and a journal prompt that will really help you dig into this and think about things. So I cannot wait to see what you're going to put out there for this earlier stage of your audience. I'm really excited. If you have any questions, put them below, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.